Making just these 3 shifts in your sales calls will literally double your conversion rate and double your income. Hello and welcome to Full Body Yes Sales, the podcast where we show you how to make more sales than ever in your online business in a way that feels authentic, empowering, and feels completely aligned with how you want to do business. Let's dive into today's episode. Hello and welcome back to the Full Body Yes Sales podcast. We are talking about one of my absolute favorite topics today, and that is sales calls and how to actually increase your conversion rate on sales calls, i.e. some really stupidly simple things that you can do to literally double the amount of people that are saying yes on your sales calls and the amount of clients you're signing, the amount of income you're bringing in, the amount of sales you're making, all of those amazing things. And these are literally the most simple things ever. These aren't big shifts to make. This is not going to be complicated. So listen up, make sure you watch this whole video because I'm literally giving you 3 wildly simple things that you can implement today to literally double your conversion rate from every single sales call that you are taking. Now, this video was super inspired because I recently took one of my clients from going from literally not closing any sales calls and really struggling with sales calls to booking 3 sales calls every single week and actually closing multiple clients every single week as well. So literally booking out her business from this, and also my own experience, because there are so many times, especially recently actually, where I've been in the situation where someone's booked a sales call with me and they're having calls with multiple people, so they're assessing who they want to work with. And I'm not joking. So far, my rate this year is I've won every single time and they've decided to work with me. And I think there's a few things that have led to that. And those are the 3 things I'm going to be walking you through today. And also 3 things that I've taught my clients and that my clients use to actually close their sales calls. But I think it's so powerful because if you're having any kind of sales calls already in your business, so if anyone is booking sales calls with you, if you're getting on the phone with potential clients, literally this can make all the difference. This can be the difference between making that 3K sale or not making that 3K sale. Just these few small tips, and they really are that good. So let's just jump straight in there. So the very first shift that I want you to make is I want you to sell getting on the call, not sell the offer itself. So when we often think about the idea of getting people on sales calls, of selling our offer through there, we're really focused on kind of selling the offer. We're saying, okay, here's my one-to-one coaching package. Here's the price point. If you're interested, we'll hop on a call. But we really make the main character, essentially the main piece we're talking about, the actual offer itself. And we almost make it as if someone needs to decide on the offer before they've even booked a call. And that's the whole point of not having a sales call, right? You wouldn't need a sales call if they'd already decided on the offer. And almost for a lot of people, I see this they're in 2 places. Either number 1, we're not booking any sales calls, like nothing is happening here, or we're getting people booking on sales calls, but they've already decided on working with us. There was kind of no point in having the call because they were already 95% there. It was just a formality really. So we didn't even need to have the sales call. And both of those times, the sales call was kind of a bit of a waste of time, right? The first one, we aren't actually getting any booked in the first place. Sales calls are feeling useless for us. They're not feeling like they're making any difference. The second one, again, it's feeling like they're kind of useless because they're not actually really doing anything. Maybe we could just close in the DMs. Do we even need a sales call for that? So both of those examples, we want to work on this here. And I think a lot of the times we kind of forget that the sales call almost is that deciding moment for the client. That's the moment where we're sharing about the offer. We're hearing about how we could help them. We're hearing about where they're stuck, what they've tried before, what they're really looking for, getting to know their needs and assess that and sharing, okay, here's how I can help you. And often when we're almost talking so much about the offer beforehand and we're trying to sell them on it before they've even joined the sales call, they have to be 95% sold on your offer before they'll even get on the phone with you, which means that most people are not going to be booking sales calls with you because they're going to say, yeah, but I'm not sure on the offer yet. I'm not sure, do I want to go for this program or this program? I don't know what payment plan I'd want to use. They're making decisions that kind of are sales call decisions, but before they've even booked a sales call, because we're almost setting this precedent and setting this tone that you need to be decided on this offer if you're getting on a call with me. That is not the case at all. What it really should be is you're deciding on, I want to work with you potentially in some area. I like the idea of working with you. It sounds like you could help me. I know that I can trust you. Okay, great. Let's get on a call together and we can just learn how you can help me, what that could look like. What are the options here? That's all of the things which we do on the sales call anyway. So rather than make the sales call redundant, actually, let's let the sales call do what it's literally supposed to do. And instead, which makes it so much easier for us, when we're not on that sales call, so before we've got to that stage, going right back to step 1 here, we are really focused on just selling the idea of getting on a sales call with us. We're just trying to sell them on, let's get on the phone together. We're just trying to sell them on, let's talk about working together. We're not trying to sell them on our £6,000 coaching program yet. We're not trying to sell them on, here are the payment plans, which one would you want to go with? We are really just trying to get them on the phone with us. And again, this is where I see so many online business owners really struggling, because we almost don't have this idea of leads. We almost try and skip over that step. We'll have our audience. And again, this is a signature process for Full Body Yes Sales if you're inside that program. If you're not, I'll put the link below so you can sign up as well, of audience, leads, sales. So people go through just being in your audience, being in your space, consuming your content, to, okay, I'm curious about working with you. I'm interested in this. They're a lead now. Then sales, we're actually signing them as a client. We've actually got them to buy this program specifically. And a lot of people, we're almost missing that middle step of leads, because we're jumping from, okay, they're in our audience, and then we're just selling them on that program. So they almost jump straight from audience to sales essentially. And it means that it's going to look like it's not working most of the time, because you're only seeing that final 5% of when someone's actually bought the program, or when they booked a sales call, but they're 95% sold anyway on this, right? We're not actually ever having the conversations with the people who are saying, you know what? I really like Lauren's content. That was really helpful. Okay, maybe I would want to work there. I'm curious what that could look like. That person, they'll book a sales call if we're just trying to sell them on just getting on the call. If we're just trying to say, hey, if you're thinking about working with me at all, let's hop on a call. Here's the link to my calendar where we can schedule a time to chat, hear a bit more about your business, about what you're looking to achieve, and I'll share with you what could be the options for working with me. Whereas if we're really focused on selling the offer itself, and we're just talking about, okay, here is the program, here's how it can help you, here's the pricing, all of those things, then we're really almost setting the precedent that they need to be 95% decided before they even take the sales call, because there's nothing left to decide, right? There's no other thing to discuss on the sales call. They already know how we can help them. They already know what the offer is. They know what it'll do. They know how long it is. They know how much it is. All these questions have been answered. So we don't book a sales call until we are 95% decided there. Now, this is not to say you shouldn't speak about your offer publicly. You absolutely should. But I think it really looks at the perspective of kind of who is the main character, essentially. And that's how I would categorize it, of when you're speaking about this, when you're talking about things, is the main character, hey, here's the offer, here's how you can work with me, here's the price point, all those things? Or is the main character, okay, let's get on a sales call, let's talk about working together, here's the program that I have, here's my signature program, here's how it's helped people, but let's get on a call and talk about how it could help you specifically and how it can work for you and what that option could look like. That way we can actually be consistently booking sales calls with leads who are at the point of just being like, hey, I'm curious about working with you. Let's talk a bit more about this. We're booking sales calls with leads, not people who are 95% decided. And sales calls actually have a function. They actually have a purpose of actually sharing how we can work with that person, of sharing the options, of hearing more about their business, of giving them a tailored solution, etc. It actually has a purpose. Again, it doesn't feel like just a formality for someone who is 95% decided on working with you. So the second thing you want to do to literally double your conversion rate from sales calls overnight is you want to position this offer that you're selling as perfect fit for them using client case studies. This is the most underrated tip and probably one of my favorites, and honestly the biggest thing that I would credit to me signing clients so consistently from sales calls is you need to make sure that this is positioned as the perfect fit for them, and you can do this so easily with your previous client case studies, with your previous client testimonials. What you want to do here, and this is the really important part, is before you've even got on this call with this person, they probably filled out some form of some kind, letting you know a little bit about them, a little bit about where they're at right now, what they're looking for, or you might have had a conversation together, so you have a little bit of information about them. What I want you to do is before you even get on this sales call, go back through this form and not just read it over and think, okay, that sounds really good, I know a bit about them now, but actually almost link this with some of your past client case studies. So go back and look through your past client results, past client success, and see, okay, who is the past client that I have that is most similar to this specific person, case study wise? So it might be they're in the same niche, they have the same type of offer, they were struggling with the same thing, they had the exact same goal, they achieved this certain thing that this potential client is now looking to achieve, and they did it in 60 days, whatever it is there. But find that past client that is most similar to them, and we essentially just want to make links across with these things, because you want to be bringing up this client case study on the call and actually sharing this as a perfect example. Because if you can really show them how, okay, this person I worked with previously was so similar to you, right? They had the exact same goals. They were really struggling with this too. They were also done for you service provider. They were also in this place. It makes it really easy for them to see, wow, this is the perfect program for me because she's worked with someone in my industry, because she helped this person get this exact result that I'm looking for right now. It really helps it be perfect for them in a really tangible way, because it's literally someone who's already achieved this, someone who was in that place, someone who's got that success already. And it's so tangible, it's so specific, and it works so beautifully for just really naturally fitting into the conversation as well. So before you've even got on this call with this person, actually just sit down and write out some of those things and just make some potential links on things that they've said and things that you can relate with that past client. So it might be that they've said their big goal is they want to be hitting consistent 5K months. Okay, great. That past client did hit consistent 5K months. Let me look back. They hit it in, 60 days of working together. And here's a few shifts that we made that I would also suggest for you. Just make those links essentially between this person and the person you worked with previously to make it a really no-brainer fit, essentially. Make it a really obvious decision there because you've really created those links. And what you want to be doing is not just making these links beforehand for yourself, but sharing these when you're actually on the call with the person. So when you're getting on the phone and they're talking about, their big goal to hit 5K months, actually sharing, yeah, I worked with this client last year actually who had the very similar goal. She was in the same niche as you, had the same type of offer as you. She also wanted to hit 5K months, and we did that in our first 60 days of working together. Here were a few of the shifts that we made to actually get there. And again, she was in a very similar niche to you, so it's very much possible for you to hit it in that same timeline. Sharing things like that can be so powerful for just helping them see what is actually possible, see what it actually looks like to work with you, and just really see it from their own perspective through a really tangible, specific past client case study. This is the thing that I see missing so often on sales calls is we're not really showing them why the offer is a perfect fit for them. We're making it a good fit for them. We're showing them that, yeah, this can tick the boxes. This can do the thing for you, get you this result. This will help you with this area. And they walk away feeling like, okay, that would be helpful. That would be good. But it doesn't feel like a completely perfect fit. It doesn't feel like this was almost tailor-made to them. And obviously, if we have a general program we're selling or a general course that we're selling, it's not tailor-made to them. It's not specific to them, but you can still really show them how it is specific for their niche, for their industry, their specific goals, where they're at right now. And you can really do that through these past client case studies and really linking those together to just show them how specific it is essentially for them, even when the program itself isn't specific. So especially if you have anything like a course, a membership, anything along those lines, this can be so extra powerful for those specific people because it really helps to make it feel a bit more specific when the program itself isn't wildly specific for them. It helps to show them exactly what it can look like for someone in exactly their position with exactly their goals. Now with this, you can absolutely mention multiple clients if you're wanting to, but I would really focus on depth over width here. Of one really good client case study is all you need really. Maybe a couple, but I wouldn't do any more than that because then it's really focused on finding almost that person who is almost a role model for them. They can really see themselves in that person, and the depth is what makes it really powerful of, yeah, they also had that, starting position same as you, and also they had those goals and they did that in that amount of time and they were in that same niche. Those are the pieces that make it so powerful. So really focus on the depth over the width. If you're also wanting some more advice in terms of utilizing testimonials, utilizing case studies in your sales calls and in your process of just signing more clients in general, definitely check out my video from last week as well, episode 2, talking about how to utilize testimonials to your advantage and actually focus on that depth and really sign clients from testimonials essentially. And then the third and final thing you want to do to double your conversion rate from sales calls is actually utilize some micro commitments in there. This can be so powerful of especially preventing ghosting, preventing people from just taking ages to get back to you, and also from getting into that almost awkward situation of it's been a few days, should I message first? Should I wait for them to message? What should I say? And kind of going back and forth on that. It can be so powerful to actually just create some micro commitments in there. And this isn't the commitment in terms of saying you need to sign up right now on the sales call or saying you need to make a decision right now. These are really micro commitments. These are just small things that just help them to really show you essentially that they're interested, and also just make small commitments that mean it's very likely that they'll actually get back to you. And also it's likely that they're actually, actively thinking about this essentially. So a few small examples of this are, number one, actually ask them, okay, if we were to go ahead with working working together, I know you want a few days to think about it, but if we were to go ahead with working together, what start date would you want? When would you be looking to start? And actually establishing, okay, great, 1st of October would be our start date, for example, can be so powerful because then again, we almost have it in mind. We're starting to think as if we are going to be working together. We're starting to think as if we are moving ahead with this and starting to think, okay, when would I want to start? What would that actually look like? What date would work for me? What week would be a best fit, etc. Around my vacation, around other work that I have, all of those things. But it's really powerful for actually just getting people to make small commitments there that make it so much more likely that they're actually actively thinking about this in the first place, but then also going to get back to you and going to respond to you. It can also be really powerful getting micro commitments on things like payment plans of, okay, great, if you were to go ahead with this, which payment plan would you be looking to utilize? And actually have that discussion with them of, okay, which one are you looking for? Are you looking towards pay in full? Are you looking towards the monthly? Are you looking for an extended payment plan? Again, this can be so powerful as well, because if you're asking these questions right now, it can also bring up any final questions that they have or any uncertainties that they have. Because, for example, if they're thinking around the price, oh, I'm not sure which one's going to work for me, I'm not sure if this is going to work, actually that gives them a chance to actually voice that and actually let you know that, and you can have that discussion. Okay, great, if the monthly payments don't work, let's chat right now about what an extended payment plan would look like, just so you have that option to consider over the next few days that will actually practically work for you. This really helps in terms of them just not leaving with questions as well, because a lot of the times when people are wanting to think about it, it won't just be the case of, I just need a little bit of time to sit with it. There'll sometimes be some extra questions lurking, bits they're unsure about. They are, they know that this payment plan won't really work, so they're kind of unsure about that. And actually by just making these small micro commitments, it's really easy for us to just bring up any things really naturally that are already feeling a bit hesitant of, oh, I don't know with the start date, I'm not sure if this would work because the kids are out of school for the summer and I don't know if that was going to work with the timeline. And we can actually discuss that of, okay, great, what if we delayed it by a month? Oh, I didn't know that was possible. Okay, great, we could do that then. Or the payment plan, for example, figuring out an option that would actually work. So they're not sitting there thinking, oh, okay, this doesn't really work. I almost have this objection, which I haven't actually voiced to this person. So you're never going to know about these things. And they walk away and kind of try and sit with these, try and figure them out themselves. Actually, we can be super aware and just really get them to a place where they've got something to walk away with that is very possible for them, that really works for them, and there are no hesitant questions left. They can actually walk away and make a really solid decision on whether they want to go ahead with this with actually things that work for them and with no lurking questions. And then the final thing we want to do in terms of these micro commitments is we want to actually set a timeline for what happens next. If your person is leaving the sales call saying, I want a few days to think about it, that is absolutely great. That is completely fine. Most of my sales calls end that way and they still close and they still sign on as clients. And what we want to do here is make sure we actually have a timeline for what is actually happening next over these few days. So this can look like actually saying, okay, when are we going to be checking in? Okay, great, it's Monday right now. How about we check in on Thursday then? And if I haven't heard from you by Friday, I can reach back out. Okay, that sounds great. So then we again have this timeline of, I don't even need to worry about this for the next few days because I know they're planning on reaching out on Thursday. If I haven't heard from them by Friday, I'll reach out and we'll have another conversation then. Or even if they still have some more questions hanging around, if you know that they're, discussing things with a partner, etc., you can always schedule in a second call as well and say, okay, does this time next week work for you as well? So we can just pencil that in as a call. If you're still having any other questions, if you still need some extra, things discussed, etc., then we can actually just get on a call and discuss those things together. But this is just so helpful for avoiding those question marks, avoiding those kind of awkward moments of, okay, should I message? Should I not message? Because you know exactly what's happening, you know what's going on, and then you're leaving the call feeling super empowered because we know what the start date would be, we know they're feeling really good with the payment plans, and we know which option they're looking at, and we also know when they're planning on reaching out to us, so how long they're actually taking to decide about this, and we know that what we're going to be doing if they don't reach out by that date, we know that when we're going to be checking in with them, so it just leaves us with a really clear plan going out for that sales call as well. So there you have it. Those are my 3 shifts to literally double your conversion rate with your sales calls. I'm not joking, these are so powerful. So implement these next time you have a sales call. Let me know how it goes. I'm so excited for you to try these out. They are, again, so powerful. Me and my clients have got such incredible results from just implementing these 3 small shifts. Make sure you subscribe below as well so you do not miss any episode of Full Body Sales. New episodes are posting every single Monday, so make sure you check out all the others as well. And as I said, last week there was an episode posted on testimonials as well, which could be really powerful for you. That's episode 2, so make sure you check that one out there. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.